Welcome to this episode of Senior Living, and welcome to the month of May in the Verde Valley. We've been experiencing some great weather at the end of April and so far this year. May looks to bring a lot more great weather. Temperatures will reach the 90s and a little bit beyond, but I think we can plant those gardens. There shouldn't be any more chance of freezing temperatures. There are many things going on in May. Of course, May Day has come and gone. We will, don't forget to show your appreciation to your mom or to your mothers in your family. And we will also have Memorial Day later on. The Indianapolis 500 will run this month. This month is National Skin Cancer Awareness Month. It's National ALS Awareness Month. It is also National Stroke Awareness Month. So while a couple of these topics we will be covering on later shows, just become more aware of the need for research and cure for those diseases. It's something that we need to pay attention to. Also, right here in the Verde Valley, the Verde Valley Fair runs for another day or so. For some of you that are watching this, many of you will have that will have passed. The Cruisin' for Critters motorcycle run for the Adopt for Life Center is May 4th. We have the initial competition for Northern Arizona's Got Talent. That begins and will run through the end of May. We have Relay for Life, the Fallen Heroes Golf Tournament, National Train Day, as I mentioned, Mother's Day, and so many, many more events that are going on both here in Prescott and in Flagstaff. And to tell us about some of the other exciting things that are happening, we have a guest from a really, really cool place. I've been there twice. I absolutely love it. In Flagstaff, it's the Arboretum at Flagstaff, and we have the director, Elizabeth Vogler, here to visit with us. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, happy to be here.
And we're glad you were able to come down. I know that I was exposed initially to the Arboretum through Yavapai Broadcasting. Of course, there are several events throughout the year that we get to go up and participate in, so that made it a little bit more interesting. So what I did find out was the Arboretum began as somebody's home.
Correct.
In 1967. Do you want to fill us in just a little bit of the details?
Sure,
about how it came
just a shout out to our founder, Frances McAllister. She moved into Flagstaff and had the home built in the late 60s out on the property, which is now the Arboretum. And the Arboretum was incorporated into a nonprofit in '81. So we've been around just over 30 years and really chugging along. So
that's great. And I know that it didn't start out in the form that it's in right now. It's been constant growth and development.
Constant growth, absolutely, yes.
So let's first talk about, in general, what does the Arboretum offer to its guests?
Sure. Well, I guess I'll just mention, kind of our hours that we're open and days of the week. We just opened May 1st, so we're really excited to kick off the season. We will be open through the end of October, and we're open Wednesday through Sunday, 10 to 4 daily. During those hours that we're open, we offer docent-led tours of the gardens twice daily. Starting May 15th, we will have a once daily at noon a wildlife presentation. And then beyond that, we have numerous events, which I'm sure we'll get into a little bit. We have summer camps for local youth that start on June 17th. Just plenty of different ways to get involved throughout the season.
And there are, like you mentioned, there are the tours that you can take, self-guided, I guess I would want to.
Well, you can do that also, but we do have tours that are led by experts throughout the gardens, and those are at 11 and at 1 every day that we're open.
So then that would allow for a little bit more for you to get a little bit more information about.
Absolutely.
all
I
of the
really
different-
recommend that visitors take those tours. It's a 45-minute tour, not too strenuous, just a walk through the gardens, and you'll get a lot more information about the history of the Arboretum, what it is that we do, and plus a lot of knowledge about the gardens if people are really specific about, have plant questions and things like that.
Right. You mentioned it's a fairly easy tour. How big is how are the gardens, I should say? How big is the tour?
The tour generally is, I'd say, maybe a quarter of a mile walk. Our property is 200 acres, but we don't have tours throughout the 200 acres. Cultivated acres, about 15. And then the tour is, a much smaller portion of that as well.
Okay, so very, very doable for most of us.
Absolutely.
Okay. As you mentioned, you just opened, and there are so many things that that you celebrate. I mean, that there are events that you created around certain things that go on throughout the summer. And I know that I'm just looking at a few of them, and I'm not sure if these are in chronological order, but you do an Arbor Day Festival, the summer concert series.
Yes.
That's very cool too.
That is, yes. All of that information is up on our website. The concerts have been finalized, and so folks can find out more information on www.thearb.org. Arbor Day, you mentioned, that was last Saturday, and that was, or Saturday, the April 27th. That was kind of our kickoff event.
Right.
We'll have our plant sale, which is a huge event for us, July 12th and 13th, and many others. I mean, we have the concerts. We're actually having a brand new event this year. I don't know if it's on your list. Called Wine in the Woods. It'll be a wine tasting festival, and that's September 15th. So we just have a lot going on all throughout October.
I see that it is on this. This I
Okay,
pulled
good.
from the website.
Good,
So
great.
if any of you that are interested in all of the events, they are listed on there. The Mushroom Festival, that one sounded interesting to me. Festival of Science, Botanical
open house, yeah.
Blacksmiths.
Yes, yeah. We're open 6 months of the year, and we just really like to have a lot to offer to our visitors throughout those 6 months. So, the Botanical Blacksmiths, that'll be the second year that we are partnering with the Arizona Blacksmith Association, and they create, numerous artists create pieces to go up throughout the garden. So it's an outdoor exhibition. So that's a really neat thing for visitors to see when they come up.
And the weather is usually pretty beautiful.
You can't beat it.
Exactly. Exactly. So if there was one thing about the Arboretum that you wanted to make sure our viewers were aware of, what would it be?
I would say our plant sale. That really is our biggest event. We draw people from across the region, and we have horticulturists on hand that are experts if people have questions about their gardens. We sell native plants, so we really focus on drought-tolerant plants that are great for the state and even this area here. So that would be July 13th. So I'd say that's usually a way for new visitors to get their foot in the door and then hopefully come back for some of the other events.
That's what I was going to say. That would encourage me to come back more often. So that's a good one to note. The Arboretum at Flagstaff, the information has been on your screen. If you need further information, just a reminder, it's www.thearb.org, or you can go to myradioplace.com, and every event that we're involved in, every event at the Arboretum during their season is listed on our website. Elizabeth,
Wonderful.
Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in.
Absolutely.
And I'll remind everybody to let somebody know that they saw it on Senior Living when they come up to visit you.
Yeah, we'll be happy to hear that.
Great. We will be back. Thanks to Elizabeth for coming in today. We'll be back, and we'll be finding out about some more great events throughout the Verde Valley in northern Arizona right after these messages.
Hi, I'm Ben Bueller, owner and funeral director at Bueller Funeral Homes. My grandfather once told me, you can serve a family selfishly once, or treat them right and serve that family for generations.
Bueller Funeral Home has been serving Arizona families for 3 generations with affordable and reasonable services. Bueller Funeral Home feels a funeral should be as unique and personal as the individual it honors, whatever your choices, your traditions, or your budget.
8,000 Arizona men, women, and children battle the often debilitating impact of multiple sclerosis every day. You can help find a cure. Register today for Arizona's premier cycling event, Bike MS Ride the Vortex, May 18th and 19th, presented by Sam's Club. You choose the distance that's best for you, from 30 to 150 miles. Proceeds fund research that can make a difference. For information and to register yourself or your team, visit www.bikemsarizona.org.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Welcome back. We talked about how much information we had to share, and our next guest has some very interesting information about an opportunity coming up that you have. We know that there is an awful lot going on in the insurance, in the Medicare, and healthcare in general, and it's a great opportunity. The seminar that's going to be held at the Sedona Public Library May 7th, and it is called Know Your Medicare 2013. And the host for this seminar is the Edward Jones office in Sedona, and Christine Rodarte with the financial planner. Are you with the office?
I'm a financial advisor.
Advisor?
Yes.
Is going to be making part of the presentation,
Yes.
and she is here to tell us all about it. So welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank
Medicare
you for having
is
me.
at the top of all of our lists, I'm sure, and what's going on with it. So
Absolutely.
while I would love to be able to ask you, so tell us what's going on with Medicare. I'm quite sure that it couldn't be answered in the time that we have for this seminar, but that's why you're doing this seminar in Sedona. So tell us a little bit about it.
That's exactly why we're doing this seminar in Sedona. And we're doing it because over 7,000 people a day are turning 65, so there's going to be an enormous need for knowledge in this area. We're going to have an expert coming down to talk about Medicare from a nonprofit organization, and he will explain all the ins and outs of what's going on with Medicare, the changes, how to detect fraud, just a wealth of information that is so worth everyone's time to come down if you're entering into this stage of life.
Right. I know that what I have found anyway is that the information is out there. I'm not saying that it's not. It's just very difficult for me to get my arms around the information that's out there. So to have you and some representatives from your office speak to the issue from one perspective, and then an expert in the field of Medicare speak from that perspective, it's just going to give people, I think, a really good foundation to know what they may be able to expect in the months coming.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Medicare is it's the coverage for retirees age 65 and older, and it's important to understand the basics of it. A lot of people think that it covers more than it does, and so this will help shed some light on what costs you can expect to incur when you do have Medicare, and what costs it will cover.
Right. I hear the term Medicare supplement, that kind of thing, and just this morning, getting some tests done, my husband made the comment, gosh, they just asked him, he's on Medicare, but he had to have a supplemental card. There are things that you're not going to have covered.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So do you, again, I don't want to even ask what some of the material might be covering, but do you expect a lot of confusion as the months move along here and the changes get made toward the end of this year? Do you expect people to be very confused about it?
I think there'll be a lot of confusion, but there'll also be a lot of people reaching out. a lot of experts in my industry and in other industries reaching out to help guide people along.
Right. The seminar is intended to, again, from my understanding, provide a foundation and let people know what resources are available to them to get additional information, correct?
Yes, yes,
Right.
you have that correct. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll also be talking about Social Security and a lot of the questions surrounding Social Security, when to take it, the differences in that time frame, taking a look at Social Security through what we call the lens, in determining when to take that Social Security, either at full retirement age or later after age 70. One of the things, the lens stands for life expectancy, also the needs and your spouse. So, do you need the income right away? If not, does it make sense to take it at a later date, or does it make sense to take it early? So we'll be covering those topics also.
I think that's going to be helpful in and of itself. I know that even when you get your Social Security statements and you look at what could happen at age 62, 63, 65, 70, it is a little bit difficult to go, I don't know, what do I need to do?
Yes.
And so again, that's the good input that the Edward Jones advisors can add to this whole seminar, is from a purely financial aspect. How do you plan? And then since unfortunately healthcare and healthcare coverage is probably one of the biggest expenses, biggest percentages of our expense as we get older, it's important to factor that in.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Let's just go over the details. The seminar is May 7th from 10 to 11 at the Sedona Public Library.
Yes.
And presenters will be yourself.
Yes.
And Eddie Mercer from the Edward Jones office as well. And then an expert on the Medicare system. And I think if you have any further questions, there has been contact information on the bottom of your screen. It is the Edward Jones office in Sedona, where people could call and get additional information.
Yep.
Christine, what else is important for our viewers to know regarding the seminar?
That it's a purely educational seminar. You're going to come and you're going to get a lot of great information that you may not have known where to get somewhere else. We'll have some light refreshments served. We'll have some coffee. So just come and enjoy it and be with the community and learn as much as you can.
I think that we would all benefit from being there, and I think. Is it going to be recorded? Can people buy?
I don't think so, but that would be great.
It would, but I think
that's a great idea.
Well, I think that the information is valuable.
Yes.
Please, again, if you can make it to the seminar, do so. Again, the contact at Edward Jones' office in Sedona, either Christine or one of her coworkers, Eddie. And if you miss the seminar, they can at least point you the right direction. Some resources that you can use.
Absolutely.
And thank you for coming over and joining us today.
Thank you.
I think this is very, very important for our viewers. We've identified Medicare as being one of the #1 topics in many areas as I've been out and about. So I think this is really important. So thanks for taking the time.
Thank you for having us.
Christine Rodarty, thank you.
Okay.
We are going to take another short break, visit with sponsors, and come back and talk about some great art opportunities coming right around the corner. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Ben Bueller, owner and funeral director at Bueller Funeral Homes. My grandfather once told me, you can serve a family selfishly once, or treat them right and serve that family for generations.
Bueller Funeral Home has been serving Arizona families for 3 generations with affordable and reasonable services. Bueller Funeral Home feels a funeral should be as unique and personal as the individual it honors, whatever your choices, your traditions, or your budget.
8,000 Arizona men, women, and children battle the often debilitating impact of multiple sclerosis every day. You can help find a cure. Register today for Arizona's premier cycling event, Bike MS Ride the Vortex, May 18th and 19th, presented by Sam's Club. You choose the distance that's best for you, from 30 to 150 miles. Proceeds fund research that can make a difference. For information and to register yourself or your team, visit www.bikemsarizona.org.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Welcome back to Senior Living. There is a great opportunity coming up for those of us, those of you who might be a little bit creative and artsy. The Sedona Visual Artists Coalition is calling artists for the, I'm going to see if I can say this correctly. Actually, I'm going to introduce our guests and let them say this. I am very pleased to introduce Julie Norton-Cohen, president of the Sedona Visual Artists Coalition, yes, and Taylor Hellman, who is the exhibit designer. Do I have that correctly?
That's correct.
And the call is out for artists to participate in the
Sedona Salon at Salon des Refusés.
Des Refusés. Okay. I think I would have come close, but maybe not gotten it just right. Anyway, it's a special exhibition with the Sedona Art Center, and they're looking for artists. It is a juried exhibit, so it is something that you can be very proud to participate in, as you can for any of their events. But first of all, let's find a little bit about each of you and the coalition, if you don't mind.
No problem. Well, the coalition is a nonprofit, inclusive organization. We're focused on education and charity. We've been around since 1995. We have about 150 members.
Wow.
Which we're really proud of. We're very active in the community. We have a mentoring program where we mentor to children from grammar school to high school and to adults with disabilities as well, bringing art into their lives,
That's
which
awesome.
we're very proud of.
Absolutely.
We are also very proud of our scholarship giving program. We give a scholarship to a graduating senior every year to further their art education. We have our Open Studios tours, which just concluded last weekend, which was a lot of fun, and we have exhibition every year, a fall show on a theme, and every other year we have an exhibition, which is a juried show. And we like to do something different, and this particular show we're doing within the context of the Salon des Refusés from the Paris Salon of 1863, putting it in a historical context.
That makes it a little bit more challenging, shall I say?
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. It's a lot more fun and a little different from any other exhibitions in town, because the history of this salon was that in 1863, 3,000 artists, including Monet and a lot of the Impressionists, were refused. Their artwork was not accepted into the main salon, where the powers that be sort of had the power to choose what was right and what was worthy. So Napoleon III came along and said, hey, let's have an exhibition of all the refused work and let the public decide. So that's what we're doing. We're going to have people bring in their own artwork and drop it off, go away, and then 2 days later they will find out whether they're in the actual exhibit, which will be up for 2 weeks, or in the Refusé exhibit, which will be right next door for the night. So
This is gonna be
everybody's
awesome.
work will be shown at least one day.
That's awesome. And your juror this year?
Is Barbara Rogers, and she's world-renowned. She's based now in Tucson, and is an emeritus professor of art from the University of Arizona.
That's going to be exciting for everyone. I do want to say very clearly right now, so that everybody is aware, the deadline for applications for this is May 15th. So that truly, truly is right around the corner. So again, to any of you that are interested, The website, the phone number's been on the screen, but I did want to point that out before we find out a little bit more so that you can really listen and pay attention to see whether or not this is something that you feel you need to participate in. It's open to all artists in any medium, right?
Correct.
Okay. So does it is themed on history, but does their art have to have that historical perspective?
No.
Okay.
Not at
Do they
all.
get any bonus points for Just kidding.
Ooh.
Just kidding.
One thing that I'd like to mention is that we need to have the applications in by that deadline date, but that does not mean that your piece has to be done.
Thank you.
You don't have to submit pictures of your work as in normal things. So in usual juried shows, that's usually the way it works.
Okay.
So on this one, you'll bring your piece in on the 13th, and then the juror will take a look
The
at that.
13th of
The 13th of June.
June,
Yeah.
right. So May 15th is the deadline to apply.
Right.
And can artists submit more than one piece?
It's just one piece.
Just one piece.
It evens the playing field for everybody.
That's true. So by submitting your application by May 15th, that gives everyone time to then be comfortable with the piece that you decide on before you submit it to the juror. So, okay, and that was a very good point to make because, yeah, somebody might have a little bit of a panic attack if they had to have their art in by May 15th.
Right.
Well, I know that there are a lot of artists in our community that aren't on display anywhere. Do they have to have are there any prerequisites for an artist to submit?
No.
Okay.
No, we're an inclusive organization. We realize people are in various stages of their development as an artist. They could have just picked up a brush yesterday and created something, and they are welcome to join our organization, show their artwork, and have their work shown with some of the finest artists in our Verde Valley as well. We're all on a journey, and we're all at different stages, and we learn from each other.
And how true that is. You made a point, I wanted to make sure I understood. To participate in this exhibition, they need to join the coalition?
They do not.
They do not?
They do not. Not this show. The show is open to people, we call it the 3 Cs, Cornville, Cottonwood, Clarkdale. We're opening this to Prescott and Flagstaff. We really want to reach out to the communities and bring artists together. I mean, we're all so close geographically, but yet separate at the same time. And we really want to reach out and bring more of a sense of community to all of our artists.
That, I think that you better change it to 4 Cs. Can people from Camp Verde participate?
Camp Verde, of course. Of course. Absolutely.
Some fine artists in every inch, nook and cranny of our Verde Valley and central and north central Arizona. So I think that we're going to have an opportunity. Do you have a limit as to a number of participants for this show, or it's
You want to speak to the jury process?
Well, the jury process we don't know how many people we're going to have submit pieces.
Right.
So whatever it's going to be, the room that the actual show that will last for the 10 days will hold. It could hold as many as 50 pieces, but it's totally up to the juror. The juror may decide that she wants to showcase 3 pieces, or she may decide that she wants to do a whole bunch of pieces. So it just depends on her. And then we have another room next door, which will be the Refusé show, which will showcase all of the rest of the work that was put into the show.
So basically, all of the work that's submitted will at some point get a viewing for at least a period of time.
Yes.
All right. Tell us a little bit more about the exhibit. Where specifically will it be?
This will be in the Sedona Arts Center, the Special Exhibition Gallery, which is sort of in the barn area that's behind the building. And it's a nice gallery space. And then the Refusé section is in what used to be the theater, but it's not finished quite as nicely. It's also used for classrooms, but still has good lighting and holds a lot of people, so it should be a great event.
Sedona Arts Center, I can drive there, but I can't remember the
It's 15 Art Barn Lane.
That's it.
Or Road.
Our
Road, I think.
Okay. We'll put it on our website in addition to the information on the calendar. And that the actual exhibit will run for 10 days, and I'm sure we'll have more information on that. But is there? I do want to come back and just talk a little bit more about the coalition. But is there what other information do our viewers need to have about about submitting work? Talk about the mediums that are typical.
It's open to all mediums.
Okay.
It could be painting, sculpture, glass, jewelry, mosaic, installation pieces, performance piece could be done. Mixed media photography.
Okay.
It's open to everything and anything creative.
And people should check out the website, the SVAC website. I'm sure that we can put a link or something for that. Or
we have had it. I'm not sure that we've had that one, but we will definitely. It's SedonaArtistCoalition.org.
Yes.
Okay, and we'll make sure when we put that on our calendar, we'll make sure that we've got that correct, and all of the guidelines are there.
All the guidelines are there. You may have to look under events on that. It wasn't on the front page for some reason, but it is under events. So if you have to look a little bit, then.
Are you both submitting pieces for?
Yes.
Whoa! All right. I won't even ask mediums. We'll be surprised when it.
And will you be attending?
Well, I'm going to plan on it. This
Awesome.
sounds like fun to me.
Are you going to submit something?
You don't want that. Trust me.
You might have hidden talents.
Well, they're pretty hidden. Then I wish somebody would unbury them. But yeah, that I like. I appreciate it a lot, and I love to look and explore, but I really am not very crafty. But that leaves something for me to enjoy from other people, so that's okay too. Sedona Visual Artists Coalition. Anyone can become a member.
Correct.
Apply for membership and that type of thing. The 501c3 nonprofit status is extremely awesome. And the open studios went well this
Oh, it was wonderful.
I have to tell you, I
fabulous.
kept seeing signs, and it truly took me a couple days, a couple times seeing them to go, oh, I know what that is. And then I realized, no, I really don't know. The members of the coalition opened their studios?
Correct.
Okay, that's what I
Correct, yes.
thought, but I wasn't
You
certain.
can get to see the inner workings of an artist studio and see the new work that they're doing. And then there's an educational component as well, where they demo and explain their process to the public.
I do think that's one of the things. I have a friend working at the Sedona Art Center as a volunteer, partly because she went in for a couple of demonstrations and to watch and to kind of learn about it. She, very amateur art painter, but she loves being around it. So those kinds of things got her involved and got her into a volunteer situation, which she absolutely loves. So I think it's important for all of us to get out there and see what we can look at and what we can learn to appreciate. And I would, at 150 members plus strong, the coalition makes a lot of sense for any of us that do have the desire to learn even more. A little bit of talent, I might feel a little intimidated, but a little bit of talent could go a long way around to those people that can teach you more and that you can kind of learn from. So I think that would be great. What else about the exhibit do we need to know?
I think that's probably about it. I think it's going to be very exciting. It's a good chance for people to see how an actual jury process works, because a lot of times you'll see a show, but you don't know everything that was submitted into the show. So you will be able to see everything that was submitted and what the juror chose. And that's one of the things that I think is a good educational thing for artists and aspiring artists to see and know.
Sounds good.
One thing
Yes, ma'am.
we have a reception on June 15th from 5 to 8. The public is invited. There'll be a lot of food and beverages and a lot of fun, and it's free to the public. And the show dates, the times are 10 to 5 daily while it's opened.
Excellent. Deadline for application, May 15th. Deadline for art, June 13th. And June 15th, reception. Go to the
Got
website and find out the rest of the information. If there's anything you missed, check out myradioplace.com. Taylor, Julie, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best. Get your applications in, and we will be right back after these messages.
Hi, I'm Captain Larry Dawson with the Cottonwood Fire Department, here to talk to you about cooking safety in your home. The #1 cause of house fires today is lack of safety in the kitchen. Always set a timer while you're cooking. If a fire starts in your oven, close the door and turn the oven off. When kids are present while cooking, always use the back burners and keep handles turned in and out of reach of children. Never leave an open flame unattended, and always have a working fire extinguisher nearby.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. You know, I followed your character since the first episode. I'm a big fan, big fan.
Thank you.
And listen, your storyline, it makes for incredible TV drama. Thing is, your drug use is very adult content. Too adult for the kids. So I'm gonna have to block you.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, have a good one.
You're a nice lady.
Welcome back, and as promised, lots more activities going on in May. We have talked a lot about the some of the events. One of the things that is gotten a little bit better every year, this is the 5th year of the Mayfair celebration, put on by the Desert Star School in Cornville. And we are joined by Pam and by Christy from the school. Christy, you're the marketing coordinator?
Yes.
And Pam is a 2nd grade teacher, bless your heart.
Yes, thank you.
What they would Thank you for doing that. And they're going to fill us in on all of the fun activities of the Mayfair and how they get it put on and why they do it. It's a huge event. Who wants to start?
It is.
It is. It's a very big event. We're very grateful to Windmill Park to be able to be there. And it's a whole day of activities to celebrate May and spring. And it begins with King Winter and Lady Spring in battle, with Lady Spring winning.
And then it continues on with some of the grades will be performing maypole dance around the maypole. Yeah, and the event starts at 11 and runs till 5 p.m. And starting around noon is when the live entertainment will start, and there'll be plenty of games and hands-on crafts for the kids.
How fun.
Yeah.
Windmill Park, great location in Cornville, by the way. Lots of room for all of those kinds of activities. Desert Star School, it's a Waldorf charter school that's located in Cornville.
Yes.
And did I say charter? And yes, it is a charter school,
It is
right?
a charter school.
Waldorf style. And as with all schools, there are things that's you do fundraisers for to help keep those kids busy and active and learning, right?
Right.
Okay. There's going to be, first of all, May 11th, 11 to 5, as the lady said, at the Windmill Park. There is more information on the website at Desert Star.
It's desertstarschool.org.
Right. And there's more information there. What got you to start this kind of an event? Because I remember when it started a few years ago, I didn't realize it was 5, but when it started, I thought, wow, nobody's really done that around here. That's kind of cool. How'd the idea get started?
In Waldorf education, festivals play a big role, whether it's a celebration of seasons or events. So we have a Festival of Light and Courage in the fall. In November, a lantern walk. In December, a spiral walk. And in May, we celebrate May. So the children throughout the year are dancing and singing and celebrating seasons in life, and the May Fair's a part of it, really around the world as a school movement. It's not just unique to our little school in Cornville, but
that's cool. You mentioned festivals are part of the Waldorf style. What else? I know that Desert Star is been in the area probably not much longer than 5-6 years, maybe.
6, yeah.
At least 6.
Okay. From Sedona to
on our site for I think at least 6, maybe 7.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And the theory behind the Waldorf school is a little bit different, but basically it's a more, what do I want to say, community-oriented education. Is that a good term for it, or no?
Well, we love to build a community and feel ourselves as a community and reach out. But it's an education that was started by Rudolf Steiner, an Austrian philosopher, and an education that can begin, you know, with parent education with toddlers. Many schools run nursery through high school, and we so far are kindergarten, and will grow next year to grade 8. And what is rather unique is that class teachers move forward with their class. So if you begin in 1st grade, you move towards 8th grade with your class. And the idea is that there's great breadth and depth in the education, including watercolor painting. The children create their own main lesson books. They all play flutes through the grades. And language is an important part of our education. Often there are 2 languages. So far we're able, as a charter school, to fund 1 language. But we believe in a lot of movement and hands-on activities and integrating the arts. And so it's fun.
It's a great philosophy.
It's fun.
It is. It's
the
a great
training
philosophy.
is fun, and it's fun to be in the
And
classroom.
as teachers, you guys both look very happy to be doing what you're doing.
I am actually not a teacher, but my daughter is a student in 2nd grade, so in
There you
Mrs.
go.
Sproul's class, so and she's very, very happy.
Very awesome.
Yeah.
Desert Star Schools, the May Fair at Windmill Park in Cornville, May 11th, 11 to 5. Is there an admission?
It's free admission. We will be selling wristbands for the children to participate in the games or crafting activities.
Okay.
It's $5 for the first child, and if you have a larger family, it's $2 per additional child.
Okay.
And there's 6 local bands from the Verde Valley that are going to be playing all afternoon long, and live food vendors. We have a great lineup.
I was going to mention some of that. There's bouncy houses, water slide, pony rides, dunk tank, circus arts, how fun, garland making, games, raffle prizes, bake sale, cakewalk, and arts and crafts for Mother's Day, which is perfect timing. That's great. Food vendors, a lot of different musicians, and the most wonderful news is that our final guests on the show today will be P.K. Gregory and Christopher Robin.
Oh, wonderful. We'll be performing at the May Fair.
Who will be performing along with Robin Dean Salmon, Anthony Mazzella, and I hope I'm saying this right, AZ?
It's Arizona Dunoon.
Arizona Dunoon Ensemble.
Yes.
And I read about them. They're awesome, and one of these days I'll get them on the show. But I was thrilled to death that as soon as I mentioned to them that you guys were going to be on the show, they immediately said, yes, we'll come in and do a couple of songs. So, so that was great news. So make your plans for May 11th. Moms, it'll be a great opportunity to get the kids out and let you enjoy the day a little bit, and they can get their Mother's Day shopping taken care of. So, so that will be great. Thank you, ladies, both of you, Christy, Pam, for joining us today to talk about this. And again, I will keep up with all of the activities that are going on, and maybe we'll see you again and talk about some of the other great opportunities and activities and events that are going on out there.
That'd be wonderful.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, ladies. And as I mentioned, we'll be back with our musical guests right after these messages.
Hi, I'm Ben Bueller, owner and funeral director at Bueller Funeral Homes. My grandfather once told me, you can serve a family selfishly once, or treat them right and serve that family for generations.
Bueller Funeral Home has been serving Arizona families for 3 generations with affordable and reasonable services. Bueller Funeral Home feels a funeral should be as unique and personal as the individual it honors, whatever your choices, your traditions, or your budget.
Having a fire escape plan is very important to keep your family safe and together in the event of a fire. When you awake to the sound of a smoke detector and smoke in your room, don't stand straight up. Carefully roll off your bed and stay low under the smoke. If your door is shut, feel the door with the back of your hand. Slowly open the door if no heat is felt. Always stay low until you get to the outside of your home. Always have 2 ways out of your house and a specified meeting place somewhere outside your home. Home escape plans should be drawn up and rehearsed on a regular basis. This could be the difference between life and death if caught in a fire.
Hey guys, thanks for coming.
Are we in trouble?
No, you're not in trouble. I just want to set some ground rules.
Like what?
Well, remember last week when you hit Vinny in the head with the shovel?
I do not recall that.
Of course not. Well, it was pretty graphic. Too graphic for the kids. So I'm gonna have to block you.
You know, I gotta make this up to you. This is Vinny's watch, and I want you to have it. You deserve it.
Thank you. That's really not necessary.
No, come here.
And every night around 2 a.m., the feeling washes over me again. And what would I do without you? It seems the night invites the madness to come. I hear my heart beating just like a drum. Whenever I think about you and all these lonely days fill my lonely space. What would come tomorrow if I scared away my sorrow and I couldn't wake up early once again? I put my boots on without trouble, cork the bottle, stop seeing double. Just look in the mirror again and see my friend. Just look in the mirror again and see my friend. Oh. I've had lovers and I've made friends. It's always hard when that feeling ends. And what would I do without you? I'm sitting here searching through my heart. There's no one to blame. We just both played our parts. And still I think about you and all those lonely days fill my lonely space. Oh, what would come tomorrow if I scared away my sorrow and I couldn't wake up early once again? I put my boots on without trouble, I cork the bottle, stop seeing double, and just look in the mirror again and see my friend. Oh, now what would come tomorrow if I scared away my sorrow and I could wake up early
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah,
that was
absolutely.
very, very awesome. And we are in studio, and very fortunate to be in studio with two of the very special musical guests that I mentioned at the Mayfair at the Desert Star School at the Windmill Park in Cornville. And we have P.K. Gregory, sorry, P.K. Gregory.
But you were a gardener yesterday.
Were you doing gardening yesterday? Okay.
She was doing gardening
You
yesterday.
picked up on that.
Gregory.
It's the farmer tan.
Okay. Okay, do that again, because you're white as I am. Okay, that worked. And Christopher Robin with Christopher Robin Band. Both will be appearing at the Mayfair in Cornville, along with many other things. How did those lovely ladies from Desert Star School get you guys to do this? That's pretty impressive to me.
Well, it's a little known secret that my wife is actually organizing the Mayfair along with the ladies from the school. So she wanted to take advantage of my musical connections, and so she was able to do that a little bit. And so we have actually, besides Christopher Robin Band and P.K. Gregory, we're going to have some other great musical guests, Robin Dean Salmon.
Anthony Mazzella.
Anthony Mazzella is going to open the show, I believe, and a lot of people know who he is, and a few others, so it's going to be great.
Arizona Danoon Ensemble. That was my first exposure to them, so that's going to be interesting. A drum.
It's a drum ensemble, yeah, and I haven't heard them play, but I hear they're really cool. So,
Like, is it like a chord drumming kind of thing?
I think hand drumming.
Yeah,
okay.
But not like a drum circle. It's more structured than that.
What I read was they actually invite the audience to bring their own percussion instruments to play along in some of the.
Okay, so it is a drum circle.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
That could be dangerous.
Yeah, it could be dangerous.
No, that's great.
Well, the one thing that I wanted to emphasize is that the entertainment at the Mayfair is definitely top quality. And tell your wife thank you, because since she got on, I think that sets the stage really nicely for the school and for the event and for helping
about it,
them
yeah.
out.
She really wanted this year to kind of stand out with the music and the entertainment and the other offerings and everything like that. So it looks like it's going to be the best Mayfair yet. I think they've been doing it 10 years running. I actually don't know, but it's been quite a few years.
The Mayfair's been 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what they were telling me today. It seemed, I knew it was quite some time, but that's what they said. So, so yeah, we're happy to see them move along. As you mentioned, all of the entertainment at the Mayfair is top notch. You guys are at the top of the list. So they all are. I don't want to diminish the importance of any of them, but you guys are right up there at the top. Tell me a little bit about what's been going on. PK, what have you been up to lately?
Well, Christopher and I actually have been in kind of a musical association for, I don't know, it's been a year. Have we hit the year mark yet?
Yeah, I think
we have our anniversary coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, you have an anniversary.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
We've got two anniversaries. We've got our bromance anniversary,
Okay,
and then we've got our musical anniversary.
Right. They kind of developed around the same time. But so I play in the Christopher Robin Band, and I also do my own stuff, and I've been doing that for the last couple years around the Verde Valley and beyond. So I have those kind of like my two main projects going on.
Sounds like it keeps you busy.
And he's a singer and bass player in my band. So he's a multi-instrumentalist and talent. So
you got the market cornered on the talent for your band, don't you?
Absolutely.
Right. We want to tie up all the talent.
Yeah.
There you go. Now you have a history here in the area from years ago. You lived here before.
I first moved out of the Verde Valley in 1993.
Okay.
And fell in love with the place, and it just kept drawing me back.
You had been just a baby when you moved out of here.
I was just a baby.
Yeah.
He's older than me because I graduated high school in 1992.
Yeah.
Okay. But you've been back now for about a year and a half?
High.
Right.
Oh. I don't want to hear any of this. This is making me, you're back? You've been back for about a year and a half?
Been back for about I guess we're pushing 2.5 years now.
Okay. And I've seen your name all over the place. You're a busy, busy man.
Yeah, I've been really successful at getting my name out there, and I still have a lot of ground to cover with that. But you know, I've been a musician all my life, but it has always been pushed to the back burner, and I am so blessed to have such a supportive wife. You know, when Erin and I met, she, you know, played her a song, and she immediately said, well, what are you doing? You quit your job, do this. And it took me about 7 years to actually kind of like, oh, okay, I'll do that.
7 years to finally listen to your wife?
Well, I listened
really?
to her, but you know, she was patient.
Okay, all right.
And so she is my biggest supporter, and so I'm just really, really lucky in that way to have that support. And so now, you know, I am committed to this path. It's great. It's so refreshing, you know, to finally figure out, oh yeah, you know, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. It took me a long time.
This is what I want to be when I grow up.
Right,
Yeah.
when I grow up.
Well, and the entire Verde Valley are benefactors of your wife and her pushing you and getting you out there,
Thank
and we appreciate that. Christopher, you've been in the area now for...
Since the end of June of last year, yeah.
And in addition to playing all over the place, I've seen your name from Phoenix to still all over, as you had done in your pre-Verde Valley life.
Yeah, I was based out of Nashville for 6 years. I was based out of the Bay Area for 6 years, New York and Connecticut area for 5 years, Colorado for 2.
Okay, drop a couple names. Come on.
I mean, there's been a bunch.
Okay, all right. We won't make you do that.
There's been a bunch of nice. I mean, well, one of the reasons I moved to Cave Creek in February. It was February 12th of 2011. It was because Jesse Coulter, Waylon Jennings' widow and one of the original Outlaws, you know, lives down there, and she and I have been working together and writing together and performing together for 9 years, and it was just she's like she's developed an entire different class of women. I mean, she's just an incredible woman, besides a musician, performer, and writer. And she's been like a second mother to me. And she and my mother and my father, you know, are in touch and throughout these years. And then I do shows with her son, Shooter Jennings. And so that was kind of one of the catalysts for me, you know, coming to this area, because I just really loved Arizona. You know, I ride motorcycles and I play golf and I can do all that stuff now year round. And in Connecticut, you know, and you're limited on your time of weather. And so it started getting into TV and film and doing music for that kind of stuff, and it sort of gave me a little bit of freedom to sort of move where I wanted to finally live. And then I found the Verde Valley, and then started, you know, up this venue. And
this venue that he's referring to is the Main Stage on Main.
Main Stage on Main, yeah.
And it is it's going to be opening right around the corner. I believe May 18th is what.
May 18th is our grand opening. Right. We've got a soft opening on May 10th, you know, for colleagues and friends and family, and just to work out the kinks, you know, which there'll inevitably be some of.
You can be sure of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he worked all night on the venue. That's why, you know.
Yeah, just till 6 a.m.
Okay, all right. All right.
I'll be doing it again tonight.
I don't know. I'm on each of their websites, which have been on the screen. All of their dates for different concerts, different events are there. I don't know that there's a website for Main Stage yet. I haven't.
There is.
Okay.
Yeah, actually. Well, there's a
Facebook page.
Well, there's a Facebook page, and then there's the main website that is will be up and running. There's a marker, and it'll be up and running a week before. So around May 10th.
Okay, we'll keep you updated till the website comes up, and all of the tour dates for each of them individually for the Christopher Robin Band, they're on the websites as well.
Have you updated mine yet?
I haven't updated your site.
Oh, jeez. But again, we're fortunate to have both of these guys and their awesome talent. Not only here in the Verde Valley, but on Senior Living on Verde Valley Television. And what we would like to do, if you don't mind, gentlemen, is hear another song, may we?
I would love that.
All right.
Let's roll.
Let's do a song I wrote called Bisbee Girl. Let's do it in F. Just because
It's always changing.
Don't know where my vocal is today. This one's safe. Left town about an hour ago in a summer squall. I run down Bisbee on a bit of business I had no business at all. Floating down that hill in the rain, feeling higher than high. She smelled just like the desert rain, and for no reason I wanna cry. Blue jeans, copper queens, and a hot fandango in bed. Blue jeans, copper queens, and I can't get you out of my head. Hit the gas or turn around and keep on fanning that flame. Blue jeans, copper queens, and a girl working a claim. Broken dreams and mining machines rusting up on a hill. Well, them ghosts all live in the past, but I don't think I ever will. Gonna find me a copper town girl, put a ring on her hand. Gonna run out to California and find some gold in the sand. Blue jeans, copper queens, and a hot fandango in bed. Blue jeans, copper queens, and I can't get you out of my head. Hit that gas or turn around and keep on fanning that flame. Blue jeans, copper queens, and a girl working a claim. See ya. Blue jeans, copper queens, and a hot fandango in bed. Blue jeans, copper queens, and I can't get you out of my head. Hit the gas or turn around and keep on fanning that flame. Blue jeans, copper queens, and a girl working a claim.
I like that one. I did a great motorcycle ride to Bisbee. It's such a cool town.
You know,
Hi, I'm Ben Bueller, owner and funeral director at Bueller Funeral Homes. My grandfather once told me, you can serve a family selfishly once, or treat them right and serve that family for generations.
Bueller Funeral Home has been serving Arizona families for 3 generations with affordable and reasonable services. Bueller Funeral Home feels a funeral should be as unique and personal as the individual it honors, whatever your choices, your traditions, or your budget.
Arizona men, women, and children battle the often debilitating impact of multiple sclerosis every day. You can help find a cure. Register today for Arizona's premier cycling event, Bike MS Ride the Vortex, May 18th and 19th, presented by Sam's Club. You choose the distance that's best for you, from 30 to 150 miles. Proceeds fund research that can make a difference. For information and to register yourself or your team, visit www.bikemsarizona.org.